We're back.
Hi, welcome everyone to depression-youarenotalone.com. To my left is Shannon, and behind the scenes is John. No one says
And
hello
you're
here.
Lou, and happy Thanksgiving.
And I'm Lou. Yes,
Belated
you want to say happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving to everyone?
No.
Happy belated Thanksgiving.
That's more like it.
Yes, it's Saturday.
Happy belated.
Thanksgiving was Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
I don't know where I got Wednesday. The reason I wanted to...
What are you drinking?
Yeah, what are you
I don't
drinking?
want to know. Not you.
I was asking
Her.
you.
Coffee.
Oh, okay.
The reason I want to do this episode is because of the holidays now approaching, and just wanted to put this out there for people that this is a difficult time for many people. Not just because they have. This isn't just about clinical depression, things like that. There are people that, for example, this may be the first year that they may have lost someone important to them this year. This is their first holiday without them. The three of us have experienced this. So we understand that first Christmas dinner, right?
Yeah.
Without,
Sucks. Sucks.
without that person
There.
there. To see the empty chair, for example. That first year of it, it can be very difficult. And again, this is not just for people with clinical depression. This can be situational depression. Someone could be, okay, dealing with that loss, but when the holidays come, it tends to really
Hit home run.
it hits home.
Mm-hmm.
For us, John and myself, we first lost our dad, so our dad's chair was that empty chair at the table, and it was difficult, to not hear his voice, not see his face, and look at that empty chair. A few years later, our mom passed away.
Especially when he died the month before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but there's never a good time, right?
The
But
closer to
Yeah.
the holidays, the worse it gets.
But yeah, it's fresher.
Yeah.
They say time heals all wounds. Things get less hard, in my opinion. They don't get easy, they get less hard over time. Because you still miss them. You'll always miss them. But I think in Shannon's case, her parents had to move away. They lived here, minutes from where we lived.
Oh, yeah, it was so easy.
They would come over
Bring all kinds
for the
of
holidays,
stuff.
be with us even after we lost our parents. They knew our parents. We lost our parents one at a time, but we still had them.
And
And
now they're...
they're still here, but they're not with us, so we
Well,
don't get to see
Mom's
them.
not so much here. She's here, but the Parkinson's and the Lewy body is...
Yeah,
got
and that's, unfortunately,
That's why they had to move.
that's what caused them having to move. They moved to Pennsylvania, from Florida to Pennsylvania. So that changed things here. So,
The whole dynamic has changed.
and other things happen. I have 3 daughters. They grow up.
Yeah.
They move away. And you just start to see your house emptier, fewer and fewer people.
Yeah.
And it's tough, especially around the holidays.
That's sad.
I think of a commercial we see for a supermarket, for anybody who knows, but it's Publix.
Yeah, that's...
It's a Thanksgiving,
it's a good
Thanksgiving commercial where the daughter calls mom about the recipe.
Oh, that, yeah.
For the stuffing.
And the daughter has a bunch of people over, and mom's talking to her, but mom knew already. She already had the recipe. She just figured she was calling just to talk.
Right.
And mom and dad were having Thanksgiving dinner, just the two of them by themselves, and that's
a really good
it's
commercial.
also another thing of getting older.
Well, the key to the commercial was the mother knew that the daughter knew the recipe.
Yeah,
But yet
and the dad knew. Because,
Yeah,
the
they
dad,
both
He made a
Yeah.
comment to
Yeah,
Yeah, they...
hasn't she made that a million times?
Yeah,
like that,
it's
yeah.
a good Publix commercial.
That's a good
for
part of
Thanksgiving.
it, but it
Yeah.
also showed, look at the parents,
Yeah,
by themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just the two of them, by themselves.
yeah.
And that's,
Yeah,
and
but
that
look at these
happens.
parents that are saying their kids shoved them in a nursing home. They're by themselves, a bunch of other old people, their kids don't even see them.
We can't even get into those conversations because I had talked about this, I think, podcast a year ago, how we as a family with the children, my kids when they were little went to nursing homes, and if I start talking about that, my eyes are going to get all watery, and I don't want to get into that right now. But what I want to say is, what people can do, let's say you have a friend, not someone that is battling depression, someone who's totally fine, never had an issue with depression, but they just lost a parent or a spouse or a partner, and this is their first holiday without that person in their lives.
Yeah.
What you can do is, if you know they're going to be alone, is say, hey, come over and be with us. Come to our house, Wouldn't you agree? Just
Well, that's what
Come
I
on
did
over
for
if you-
Thanksgiving with a friend. That's what I did with Christmas with a friend that's coming up.
exactly. We
Come
know,
over.
You have friends?
Yeah.
Wow.
but it's something that you can do. Is if you know that friend is going to be alone for the first
Yeah.
year, this is their first holiday alone.
Grab them.
Tell them that, come on, you got to come over. We want you to come over.
Yeah.
Not pity them. Not
You
say,
don't
hey,
want
I know you're
anybody
going to be
to-
alone, so come on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, that's a great invitation. But say, we want you here. Come on over. Be with
Yeah.
us. So that person isn't alone.
Takes no effort.
And again, this is not just about someone battling depression. It could be anyone. It could be very depressing
Okay,
for that
yes,
person,
it can be.
that first holiday.
The holidays are
Or any
when
holiday, actually.
depression really rears its ugly
Of
head.
course it is.
Of course it is.
It
And
triggers it.
And think of the holidays where it's always been a time where no matter what goes on throughout the year, where you don't see family as much or this or that, but the holidays were that time where, everybody gets
Everybody comes
together.
together.
Everybody gets together. And when that changes, it can be very
Traumatic.
very depressing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a change that's, very sad. Imagine someone who lost a spouse. This is their first year without that spouse.
Oh,
And maybe they're an older couple where, as it is, they're already just the two of them alone for the holidays. Now it's just that one person. And if it's a grandparent or parent that lives in another state, do something.
try to get him over.
And I'll tell you what parents will do oftentimes is say, you know what, don't worry about it. I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah, I know you're okay,
Yeah,
but
no,
we still want you here,
Yeah.
because parents tend to, I don't want my kids to be inconvenienced. I don't want my kids to worry. It doesn't mean that person isn't suffering or hurting. They just don't want to put it on you, because parents, you do that. You protect your kids, even though they can be in their 50s. They're still trying to protect their kids. So my suggestion is, do what you can to bring them in. Don't leave them alone.
No,
Don't
God,
leave them
don't.
alone. It's
If it's a plane flight, everybody chip in a couple bucks to get them. I know plane flights are expensive now, but chip in, get them to your home, because family is too precious.
and like I said, we've experienced that.
Yeah, and you just don't know when.
We know the feeling of seeing the dining room table with, it seemed like
Empty.
every year, another empty chair,
Just
another
chipping
empty
'em
chair,
off.
another empty chair. And it gets sad during the holidays for a lot of people.
Well, I said it during Thanksgiving. I said, "Oh my gosh, this we had such a beautiful display of everything, and there was just 4 of us here.
Yeah, and one of them was a friend.
And why wasn't my friend?"
A friend, because she...
Which was fine, but I'm just saying, it was sad because our family wasn't here. Like
she
the
doesn't.
majority.
She didn't have family here, so Shannon invited her to be with us.
Yeah,
And that's what we're suggesting that you
You do.
You do as well.
because she loved it.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I was surprised you made a decent turkey.
I made a
Yeah,
good
you actually made a
turkey.
good turkey, which
But I Googled, I
thought
YouTubed it.
I thought it was going to be that turkey from Christmas Vacation
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, 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 no,
with
no.
Chevy Chase. Remember that one?
I did a lot of research on how to make a turkey with all the spices, and ironically, I found out that you don't need a lot of crap. You just need very simple, basic things, and it turned
Wow.
out delicious.
You made a really good turkey.
I did. I really did.
It was really good.
You can thank
It was really surprising.
the chef from YouTube.
Well, she talked about it constantly.
Well, because I did it-
nonstop.
because I was
felt, I
amazed.
felt like, oh my God, you know, it's whatever it is, I'll just eat it, whatever. Just please don't talk about it anymore.
Ugh.
But it was really
Whatever.
good. It was juicy, tasty. It was very
And
good.
only like 5 ingredients in it. That's it.
Well, there you go. But, you know, this applies to Thanksgiving. It just passed as well. But I think once Christmas hits,
That's a big one. Big one.
Hanukkah, I mean, I think it gets worse. I remember that first year of not having our dad. I remember the first year looking at our mom, how she was.
Yeah.
She didn't talk about it, but you can tell she was
Yeah.
not the same. I couldn't imagine if she was by herself, if we
Yeah.
weren't there for her, if she was by herself, what that would have been for her. And so, you know, just bring this up. Not that people don't care or whatever, but everybody's so, especially when you have children, you're so involved with your family, your children, whatever, and you may overlook things
But don't.
and don't mean to.
Don't overlook.
Just don't mean to, but it's just, you have so much going on over the holidays sometimes. And I know, let's not forget. Don't forget to call Grandma. Somebody remind me. Right?
Well, how
Somebody
about
remind me.
bring
You gotta call
Grandma to
Grandma.
ya?
How about bring Grandma to you.
Yeah. Bring her to you. It's worth the price of the of the flight.
Especially with the last few years with COVID, where a lot of people couldn't see Grandma
Yeah.
and Grandpa.
Because you don't know when you're going
Couldn't
to see
see
them
family,
again.
and you never know. Yeah, you know what? And if you have an older person in your family, a grandparent, I hate to do math here, but there aren't as many holidays left for someone
Yeah.
who's older.
Of course not.
For any of us,
Well, for
the
yeah, for
holiday
any of
number
us,
is decreasing
you'll never
on a
know.
regular basis
Oh, yeah.
every
Yeah.
year. But if you have an older, listen, you never know if it's the last time.
No, you don't. So grab them.
We didn't know it with our parents.
None of ours.
With our dad, we certainly didn't know. It came out of nowhere. With our mom, we knew where things were headed, that she wasn't going to survive. With your parents, didn't know that things were going to end up like that.
No.
We didn't know. And these things, this is life. Things happen. We can't anticipate them. It's not something we think about. Actually, it's healthy to not be thinking about that either all the time. Right?
Well, you don't want to think about it. You don't want to consume you,
consumed with
but
those
you need to
thoughts.
think about it enough to get them here for the holidays.
And sometimes need to think about it for them, not for you.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
So, if you're 45, but your mother's 75, maybe you need to think about her more and not about you so much.
Yeah.
And the excuse, well, I have kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had kids.
Everybody's got
3
it.
kids. I
Yeah.
got shit done. Still got things done. So can you.
Yeah. No excuses. Just
No.
get her there.
No excuses. You have all the time. People have all the time to go shopping.
Yeah. And
Or to watch the Kardashians.
Yeah, for that. And you know what? Someone had sent us an email that I got to address this. That I've gotten in certain podcasts that I've gotten very animated, or frustrated,
animated
or angry.
frustrated?
Yeah, because to me, it's not about me. When I talk about these things, they're not about me. And I get frustrated. I get angry when there are people that need help, a child or a spouse, whatever, and people aren't there for them. And if you see me get a little agitated, angry, what I'm not going to do, doing this thing on depression and having a website that John and I have, is sit here as a broken down human being, and tell people, oh, you can get through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people can look at me and go, really? You look like a broken down human being. You're going to tell me I can get through it? How about you get through it first?
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I get a little agitated. I get frustrated. I get angry even. Especially if you guys have noticed when I talk about supporting the home, supporting the family when it's not there. You've noticed that,
A lot of cases.
But you've noticed how that is really what kind of aggravates me. And again, it's not for me, but I think of others going through what I went through and not having anyone there for them. I didn't It's not that I didn't have anybody there for me. I just can't imagine someone else not having someone there for them.
Yeah, think about others.
And that's why we do these podcasts where, like we're doing now, telling people to reach out to someone you know.
Especially now.
I mean, it'd be nice
All the time, but
all the
I mean,
time. I
whatever.
understand it's not realistic.
But especially now, it's the most important and crucial time of the year because that's when
Yeah,
people are so
it can be
lonely,
a very,
so depressed.
it can be a very painful time.
Yeah.
And little things sometimes can go a long way. Words matter. Showing interest matters. Going out of your way matters.
Of course.
Doing nothing is nothing. I've said this before, and I will say this again. Doing nothing is nothing. And having regrets later from not doing
And
anything.
you have to live with that.
Some people have the ability to shrug things off.
Yeah, they sure do.
But there's so much you can do, and you know, like
Do
I said,
it.
I'm talking from our experiences, and this is common at our ages. Where as you get older,
Yeah,
it's just life.
yeah, it is.
You have children; they grow up, like the song, Cats in the
Cats in
Cradle.
the Cradle. Yeah.
Cats in the Cradle.
Perfect example.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. What if the kid wanted dad to do this when dad never had time? Never
Right,
had
the kid
time,
wanted just to
never had
be
time.
like Dad, and he ended up being like
I-
at the end, his father realizes that he turned out just like
He
him.
turned out just like him. The
Yeah.
dad wanted him now to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
He didn't have time.
Yeah.
Right.
My new job's a hassle and the kids of the flu.
Right.
But it's sure nice talking to you, Dad.
Yeah.
It's been sure nice talking to you.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
It is a great
People
song.
can say, "Well, I don't care for that song." Okay, you may
have to
not
pay
like
attention to
you may
it.
not like the music or the rhythm of the song,
No,
but think of the word.
It tells
the
a
words.
story.
Exactly right. It tells the lyrics.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
care if you don't like the music, right? Anything. The lyrics.
Well, that was the thing about Harry Chapin. A lot of his music people didn't like, but a lot of it actually told a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, back then in the 70s, I think there were a lot of
Oh yeah.
musicians
There
that
were.
with lyrics were really good.
Yeah.
Their music
storytelling.
But most of
their
his stories
music
were not
was
happy
not so
stories.
hot to trot.
Life is not always happy, and you know what? Sometimes, maybe that song, maybe a few people in the history of that song
Yeah.
heard that song and said,
Didn't realize something.
wow.
Oh, I'm
know
sure
what?
there's a lot of people that realize what
You
that
know what?
song
Some,
was.
the happy songs are great. Because
yeah.
they put you in a good mood, you're dancing, you want to have
Oh, yeah.
fun. Absolutely, man. I love happy songs. But sometimes these sad songs kind of can get your mind going and say, you know what? Wow, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
The Christmas YouTube Christmas jazz instrumental music. Oh, it puts you in a good mood. It's just jazz music, instrumental, no singing, but it's good. It puts you in a cheery mood.
I'm just going to say, you know what? For me, music,
Tells a story. It lets you
good
live.
times, bad times,
Yeah.
music to me, because there's always different types of music that I can relate to at that time under that situation.
Yeah.
I know I understand a lot of people, some people don't care about music. It's
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
fine, that's whatever.
Completely okay.
But John and I are music guys, so
Yeah,
we
you
can
bet.
relate to these things because we're both two people that like different types of music.
Yeah.
And I played instruments and studied music.
Yeah, and you studied music and played instruments. I mean, we like the bagpipe girls
Oh yeah, they're great.
playing bagpipes. You
Yeah.
guys look it up on YouTube. What is it? What are they called?
Celtics or something?
Celtic women or something?
No, Celtic women are
No,
different.
that's
It's
different.
the Snake Charmer.
Snake Charmer.
There's one. She's from
in
India.
One's Irish and one's American.
One is Scottish and one's American.
Scottish and
One's Scottish and one's...
The
Yeah, they are pretty
bagpipes.
good.
Yeah.
That's bagpipes. I mean, teach
Just-
their own, you know.
Just look up bagpipe girls on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
because you know
they'll
what?
come up.
People might say, I don't give a damn about bagpipes. Then they'll listen to it and go, hey, wait a minute, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
interesting. They're unique. They're unique.
So,
There's all kinds of different things out
you know, we
And
just,
they're not that bad looking either. So
well, they can be as good looking as they want if the music doesn't hit me.
Doesn't hit,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I'm not going to watch.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not going to do it. So we just wanted to do this episode to just put it out there from, oh no, we still, okay. But we want to do this episode because we've been through it. That's why. It's not just telling people, you should do this or you should do that. No, we've been through it. We know how it feels.
Well,
We know the shitty feeling.
Yeah, and it's
But
a
we've had
shitty
each other.
feeling.
We've had each other.
Right.
There are people that don't have anyone if you're not there for them. Maybe there's no one else.
Yeah.
And
Well,
those are memories I'll never forget of looking at that dining room table.
oh yeah, it was very sad. Well, I looked at our dining room table here in this house, and it was sad.
Our dad died how many years ago? How many years ago?
Like 8?
11,
Oh, 11.
11 years. And
That's
it's
awful.
a
still,
couple of months ago. Last
it
month.
still puts a knot. I still have a knot in my throat
Of
when
course.
I think about it.
I mean, how could it not?
That's why I say, some people say it gets easier. To me, I can't say it gets easier, it gets less hard.
Yeah.
Because I believe there's a difference between the two.
It gets easier to deal with, basically.
I don't know that it gets easier to deal with.
Again, to me, it's
but
less hard to deal with.
Well, that's kind of the same thing, but
I cannot use the word easy in any way, shape, or form when it comes to that. Because easy, easier, none of that.
it's just tough to sit at the dining room table. How about that?
None of that works for me.
It's just tough sometimes.
To me, it's
when you
less
look at the
hard.
chairs.
To me, it's just less hard. You can define it any way you want. Put whatever twist on it. To each his own. No problem. But we at least have no regrets. The three of us, we always were close with our families. We were always
yeah.
together. We never had a holiday apart.
No.
You and I, in our whole lives, we've never had a holiday apart.
I only had one
From
in my
We've
whole
always,
life.
always had the family,
Yeah.
other cousins, aunts, and uncles.
Yeah.
They always, everybody would always meet at the house.
Now it's
We never had a
dwindling
holiday
down.
away from our parents.
Yeah.
And now the generations change. My kids, for example, different generation,
One
right?
goes to
No problem.
halfway around the world.
Um,
the other one's there.
Or they'll text you,
Yeah, that's what they do now, text.
Merry Christmas with an emoji or something.
Yeah.
Which I
that's
couldn't
where
even-
it is now.
Couldn't even, okay, it doesn't make it right.
No, I didn't say it was right, but
Doesn't
that's
make it
where
right.
it is now. It's disgusting,
Yeah,
but
and-
that's where it is now.
Yeah, because, a phone call
That's
is
where
just,
we are.
A phone call is just too time
Oh
consuming.
my God, that's gross,
No,
but
no,
that's
they
where we
don't.
are
Well, it's
now.
too difficult to dial a number.
But we can't get into
No.
the generational thing because
No.
it would take us 5 hours to go through
5? It would take you months.
and make comparisons as to how they feel. They do things
Entitlement.
better than we did, right? The
Yeah.
younger we do things better. You're right. You text instead of making a phone call because saves time.
It's,
They're very efficient on time.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. They don't want to spend time.
Well, the other issue too is I think the younger generation, especially the millennials, they don't really think of how the parents feel.
No, because they're thinking of themselves.
Exactly. The parents have no feelings.
Yeah.
Where when we were young, we still thought about our parents.
Yes, 'cause
we had that capability.
It was a closer
Yeah, that's all gone now.
generation then.
So to you young people, when we were in our 20s and 30s, we were able to think of how our parents felt.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
Too much.
It's different now.
Too much.
Yeah.
So when you think, you want to criticize the other generation, maybe get mirrors and put them in your house. Maybe you lack mirrors.
Yeah, maybe you can learn a few things.
Yeah, maybe you could. We can, and our generation can learn a lot from them on a lot of things as well. But
Yeah,
there are a lot of
I
things.
like how to text with 2 thumbs that,
No, there are
500
things
words a
the
minute.
younger generations are have done better at than older generations,
that's
especially
always
with
been the
acceptance
case.
of people.
That's always been the
acceptance.
case.
Well, the most
But,
important thing is
when we're
is
talking about
thinking
family,
your-
when we talk about family,
family and the
young
holidays.
people
That's
too.
what
You know
things
what?
change.
Maybe you should, if you're in college or whatever, you're not going to go home. Don't text your parents.
Call your
Don't
parents.
text your parents. I know you're going to text your parents for money, but you can also call them.
No. They would call their parents for money, text for everything else. Get it
No,
right.
they were gonna call them.
Yeah,
No,
of
they
course they're
text-
going to
they
call.
text- no,
I'll just text them.
But anyway, we wanted
Need,
to.
need, and the emoji sign of dollar.
No, we
dollars.
want to wish everybody a happy belated Thanksgiving for
Yes.
sure.
And
And think of
also,
your family for Christmas.
We'll talk
and the
again
holidays.
before Christmas, but please, start getting that in your mind. Maybe even prepare to fly someone home, or
If you can,
or
yeah.
do whatever if you can.
Try to get a pool of
Think of
money going.
do this. Try to think of what the other person may be going through. Okay, so please subscribe to us on YouTube. It's free. Give us a thumbs up. And visit our website, depression-youarenotalone.com.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.